Hey guys, welcome back. Time for our near wallet tutorial. So in the last tutorial we stopped our kurtosis near blockchain on the local system. So let's just restart that first. I'm going to list where I am. Yes. Okay. Near launch. Now also switch into our NenV environment. And run our config. We need to copy this folder name right here. So source say yes, and then enter this directory name. And we are set. So now if I run near, it's pointed to localhost. One thing I want to mention before we move on, in this terminal I ran the configuration file. However, if I go to open another terminal window and run near here, actually I need to enter the NenV environment as well still. Hold on a second. Well, let me just run near from inside the environment. You can see that it is still pointing at the address outside of my local system. So the configuration in this terminal window has not been set like it has been in this terminal window. So if you need more than one terminal window to run with the localhost configuration, you will need to run this source config, source near config shell script in each of the terminal windows that you need that to happen, right? Okay, so let me just clear this. Okay, and we will use this one here. Oh, before I clear it, when we run our kurtosis module, it outputs some of the environment variables. One of those environment variables is near wallet URL. So this is the 127.0.0.1 and the port 8334. So that is where we're going to go now and enter our wallet. So 127.0.0.1 334 port. Enter. From here we can start creating our account. So I'm going to go ahead and click create account. The names on Near Network are similar to how domain names are laid out. So you have the main network address, then the sub-address, and then the subdomain, kind of like subdomain, domain.com type thing. So here our local network is under test.near. So whatever the account name is going to be created this name .test.near. So in this case, I'm just going to create an account A and reserve my account ID. I'm going to use the secure passphrase. Continue. I'm going to copy this passphrase. However, one thing I'd like to mention about developing a local host. You will not be able to recover your account key using the passphrase on localhost system because there's some bug and it's trying to actually get the account ID from the actual network somewhere, and it fails, and it just gives some kind of hexadecimal account name which doesn't exist. So it won't work, but we're still going to save this file in our recoveries. I'm just going to call it account A and just put it here. I'm not going to use this account for anything. In case if you're going to create your own account and have this passphrase, you should actually keep it secure. In my case, this is a tutorial account, localhost based. Don't care about it, okay? And this private key or this passphrase isn't going to be used for anything, really. So I'm going to save this. Then continue. Word number 3 was engage. Verify and continue. And right now, I'm actually going to open the developer tools because I want to show you something and go to the network. And we're going to do something right now. I'm going to paste this and find my account. You can see right now that it says no accounts were found. And here you can see that it is going to some Sentry.io site with the address being sent there. And honestly, we're running on the local host, so we don't have anything sitting on any place out there somewhere on the internet. So it won't find it. But we're going to click import anyway. And here now we have our account that we just created, and then we tried recovering it, but it won't recover. So I'm just going to delete this thing. Let me just switch to a.test, and I'm going to go to this account and to account, and then remove account from wallet. I'm just going to remove this hexadecimal account from here. And now we have account created in our wallet with a wallet balance of 10 near. Some of this is reserved for storage, so about 1 cent, to save the information about our account on the blockchain. Okay. Now, what we're going to be doing is we actually need to use our CLI to do things. So in the next few tutorials, we will be using CLI to upload our smart contracts, do some transactions, things like that. We're not really going to use this, you could say, internet-based wallet on our local host system. We're going to start going from the roots, so to speak, of how to use the near network, stuff like that. So we need to extract the public-private key pair from this wallet into our into a JSON file. So I'm going to show you something here. So in the home directory, we have the hidden files. So if yours aren't, like, you'll need to show hidden files in order to see this. We have near credentials and near Tosis. Now, near Tosis stores the folder which was launched with our Kurtosis module, which has the default JSON key pair validator. This key pair stays the same always. Like, it doesn't change. Every time you start it, it'll always be the same. So never use this key pair for anything real. It's development purpose only. Shouldn't be used for anything else. Okay. However, what we need to get here is our a.test.near accounts public-private key pair. And we need to store it in the near credentials. And right now, if I go here, there's nothing here, right? So let's recover our private key, public key, and save it in the JSON file, right? So over here in our repository, I have this key.test.near.json template file. I'm going to copy this and paste it into a local net in our near credentials local net. I'm going to rename it into a.test.near.json file. Rename. Okay. And now I'm going to open it using my text editor. Here it is. So in the text editor, I'm also going to call it by its account ID. So it was a.test.near. And now we need to get the public and private key pair. Let's start with our private key. Now, to get the private key from the wallet for this account, we need to press F12 to open the Chrome Developer Tools and then go into Application. Inside Application, we need to go under Local Storage and then HTTP 8334 for our local host, and then go into Key Store. This is a.test.near. This is what we're looking for right here. Okay, this is our private key. So Control-A, Control-C, and I'm going to save it, paste it into the secret key. Now, I'm not going to use the secret key for anything real, okay? So that's why I'm showing it to you here. If you are planning to use this secret key for anything, any kind of real project, whatever, you should keep it really secure and not show it to anyone, okay? So be warned about that. Now that we have the secret key, we can extract the public key using the secret key. So to do that, I actually wrote another little script in our near here. I'm just going to clear all this and list what I have. I have this near-pk.sh script. So if I quickly display what is in there, what we have is just a bin bash script with this code right here, near API Keypair from string. This code right here gets submitted to the near REPL, and then near REPL processes this code and extracts public key from the private key. Okay, so in order to do this, what I need to, I just have to start calling this shell script, and then pass the secret key as the argument and press enter. And we got our public key extracted here, so I'm just going Control-Shift-C to extract it and paste it into my JSON file and save it. Now we have our a.test.near saved inside of our credentials area. Okay. After this, what we are going to do is test it. So I'm going to clear all this. And first, I'm going to send some near to this account, just so near send. This is a CLI command to send near tokens from one account to the other. So I'm going to drop some tokens into this account that I just created. So I'm going to send it from test.near to a.test.near. And I'm going to send 100 tokens. And now if I'm going to check for status of my a.test.near account, I'm going to do near state and then a.test.near test.near. So here we have 110 near tokens altogether in my account. So 10 tokens was deposited in there by default when I created the account, and then I sent another 100. Now you might be wondering, what is this test.near account that I sent it from? Let's just do a status for that account as well. This is our default account, which gets created when we first launch our local blockchain. And it has a lot of tokens in there. So about, what is it? 1 billion near tokens to send around to different accounts. There's no such thing as airdropping inside of the near protocol local framework. We have this default account, which has a lot of tokens in it, and then we just send these tokens to the accounts that we want to send them to. Okay. So this is it. We created one account for use with our future contract development on our local system using our CLI. Even though we're going to use our CLI, we can still use our wallet over here to see what is happening. So right now I'm going to refresh it, and we're going to see that we have a lot more near in our wallet now since we sent 100 here. I'm quickly going to create a second account, the b.test.near account. I'm actually going to do it in a different way. I'm going to do it not with the wallet, but with a CLI. The problem with creating accounts with a CLI is that you cannot import them into the wallet later because of that bug that we have, right? So let's just go ahead and do that. Now near CLI has create account, a command. So over here, when we do creating the account, what we need to say the name of the account we want to create, and we also have to specify the master account. Normally this is used for creating accounts for smart contracts, but we can also create it like as a regular account, because accounts that store smart contracts are same as regular accounts. We're just going to do that now. So near create account b.test.near, and I'm going to do master account test.near. And I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm not going to specify the initial balance. The initial balance is default 100 near tokens. I could reduce it or increase it. I'm just going to leave it at 100. I'm just going to press enter. So here we see that we created the b.test.near.json file without having to go through the wallet. So if I go here, if I go into my folder where we have localnet, we see that it added b.test.near.json automatically. However, if I try to import this somehow in here, I won't be able to. That is why if you want to see your wallet information inside of this web-based wallet, you need to create inside the web-based wallet and then extract the public-private key pair the way that I showed you in the beginning of this tutorial. Okay? Now let's do a quick test on transferring some tokens from account A to account B and the other way around. I've done a little bit of experimentation here already, so that is why, for example, account B is not exactly 100 and account A is not exactly 110. But I'm going to show you what happens when we do a send. So we're going to test the a.test.near.json key and the b.test.near.json key as well. So let's do near send. And I'm going to send 25 tokens from account A to account B and 25 tokens. So now if I check the account A is 84.99, and actually every time you run a transaction, the account will actually be reduced by a little bit more than the amount you specified for transfer, because we have to pay for gas, so for the transaction to be processed. I'm going to do the same with account B. So let's just see what the state of account B is now. So it's 124.99, so 25 we transfer to this account. I'm going to now send 15 from account B to account A. So it's the same thing. I'm going to do B to account A, and I'm going to send only about 15 tokens, right? So let's run this. Okay, state of the account B. We see that it's 109 right now, and account A is now 99.99. Now let's do one extra thing. Let's get rid of one of our public-private key pairs and see what happens. So I'm going to take account.test.near.json and rename it with add.backup. So now the system won't recognize this public-private key pair file anymore. And I'm going to try and transfer something from account A to account B. So account A to account B. Let's try transferring 5 tokens. And as you can see, we get an error. This is because we don't have the public-private key pair. We're not authorized to do the transfer from this account. Now let's uncomment it. Rename it back to the proper name so that the system can recognize this public-private key pair. And I'm going to try and send it again. And this time it works just fine. State.b is now 114.99, and the status of A is 94.99. Okay. So for now, this tutorial is done. In the next tutorial, we're going to start creating our first smart contract. That is why I had to go through this section of creating our wallets. These are the wallets we're going to be using to actually for our future work in this tutorial. All right. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. That will help with the video moving forward. And have a good one. Bye-bye.